This is some large-scale survey data from the UK. This is the Higher Education Policy Institute, a survey published in 2025, conducted in December 2024. It's about 1,000 students in a representative sample. Students said that they were often using AI to explain concepts for them. We would probably think this is okay, using AI to explain things. 58% saying they do it, and 63% saying that they think it's acceptable. 47% of students were using AI to summarize a relevant article. I think that's probably okay as well, and 58% of students thought it was acceptable. 40% were using AI to suggest research ideas, and 50% thought that was acceptable. 39% were using it to structure their thoughts, and 50% thought that was acceptable. This is, for me, probably where we start crossing a line into doing some of the intellectual work, because I think it's quite problematic if we say that it's only AI use if you're getting AI to produce the final product. It's okay if you get AI to do the thinking for you as long as you do the writing yourself. I don't agree with that. I think in the disciplines that I teach, and my teaching history largely includes computer science and education, in both of those disciplines, the thinking is as important as the final expression. I don't think we can say, give students blanket permission to always offload the thinking to AI. We then have a quarter of students using AI outputs in assessment after editing them, and a quarter thinking that's acceptable. And then about 1 in 5 using it in assessment after editing with AI. So that's they write it, but they get AI to edit it. And then we've got 8% using AI outputs in assessment without editing at all. That's probably something we would have a relative consensus view that's unacceptable in a lot of tasks. Now, these are some sort of grey areas. There are also some uses of AI we would probably say are always unacceptable. So this is a quiz solver plugin for a web browser. It will just do online unsupervised multiple choice questions for us. So if you're in a context where there is a summative, like a grade bearing, certifying use of multiple choice questions online unsupervised, I would encourage you to challenge that practice, because that's a practice that is completely broken now. We can no longer rely on unsupervised multiple choice. Now I want to talk with you about how it should change. And I want to start off by saying doing assessment in this time of AI is a wicked problem. There's 2 main principles for assessment in a time of AI. Firstly, that assessment and learning experiences equip students to participate ethically and actively in a society where AI is ubiquitous. So this is saying that AI is in the world. We can't do much to change that, but we need to prepare students for that world. And if you are a critical AI refuser, I think you still need to accept that your students will go to a world where AI is there, and they need to be able to navigate that world. Our second guiding principle is that forming trustworthy judgments about student learning in a time of AI requires multiple, inclusive and contextualized approaches to assessment. So this is the assessment of learning, the assurance problem. We want to form trustworthy judgments that we would put our professional credibility behind, judgments that we would put our institutional reputation behind. And doing that requires multiple approaches to assessment. There's no one perfect approach to assessment. They all have problems. So these 2 guiding principles sit in tension with each other to a degree, because one of them's about how do we support learning, and the other one's about how do we assure learning. Now, we unpack these a little bit in the form of 5 propositions. They all begin with assessment should emphasize. So the first one is assessment should emphasize appropriate, authentic engagement with AI. This is to say that we want to build on the work in authentic assessment, and we want to have assessment tasks that represent the world that our students will go into. The second principle is that assessment should emphasize a systemic approach to program assessment aligned with disciplines and qualifications. Often when we think about assessment, we zoom into the level of individual assessment tasks. We think about an essay I'm setting students, an exam, an interactive oral assessment. Those things matter, but we also need to zoom out and think about the whole program of study. It could be a level of schooling, it could be a degree, it could be a trade qualification. Across whatever that qualification is, how do we consider the whole assessment system? How do we consider what all of the assessments actually add up to? And how does that sort of meet the needs of the qualification? Thirdly, assessment should emphasize the process of learning. AI is able to produce products for sure, but that's not all that matters. We need to know what students are capable of, what they are doing, how they are learning. So this is actually quite hard, assessing the process of learning. We need to do things like have process check-ins with students where we talk with them about their work. There are some tools that can track the production process of assessed work. And then finally, assessment should emphasize security at meaningful points across a program to inform decisions about progression and completion. This is saying we're probably going to need to be sure of what students can do without AI sometimes. And at those moments where it matters, we need appropriate assessment security to do that.